Hi, yo, what's going on out there? I'm back with another quick hit clip of Welcome to the Franchise here. Just want to talk a little bit about the NFL off-season preview a bit. Some things that may go down during the off-season or, what probably should go down in the off-season a bit. Other than that, I do want to start first a little bit with these NFL awards. I know a little bit late here, about a week or so late, but caught with the NFL awards war and the NFL honors, and just a couple little takes on that. So with that being said, let me get straight into it with this one, and I'm gonna start off with, of course, the biggest award. People were talking about it for a bit, and that's the MVP. So league MVP goes to Josh Allen, right? I'll say this, a little conflicted on both sides about it and everything with my thoughts, but I'll start off by saying this, right? I think it's well deserved by Josh Allen. Josh Allen, great play. You could see the presence, the energy, the leadership, and the value that he provides for his team this season, even when not doing the most or playing like how he was before, where he probably had higher numbers, better numbers, and more of an impact on the game through throwing the ball and running the ball himself. But this season, it just looked different. It looked really different. The mindset that he had and how it rubbed off on the rest of his teammates. So it really did look like an MVP season for him, as far as seeing throughout the whole regular season there, and even leading into the playoffs. I mean, didn't his first playoff game, I think it was, or was against the Ravens. He didn't even have 100 yards passing or something like that. They still won the game. And sometimes being an MVP is about taking a step back to make sure everyone else on the team understands, the mindset and the philosophy, what you're trying to accomplish for a win. So I think well-deserved there throughout the season and the playoffs. 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's good. Pretty good numbers right there. So I'll say well-deserved by him. He really does throw that team on his back. He has for some years now and everything. Not saying that everyone else around him is just, terrible and trash and everything like that. Not saying that at all. The Bills got some ballers all around that squad, from the offensive line to the running backs to the receivers to the whole defense on the first, second, and third level. But I'll say this: it's valid. It's valid-ish to give him the MVP. Compared to Lamar's season this year, which was better than his MVP, both his MVP seasons. I'll say, well, actually, that first one was crazy, but last year's MVP season was better this year than that one. I mean, it's crazy what Lamar did this year. And, I did say that when they played each other leading up to the game, I'm like, well, whoever loses this game, they're probably going to give them the MVP as like a little pity trophy or whatever, or consolation prize or some shit like that. But what I didn't think about, and probably sounds a little bit more valid, is that, well, whoever wins this game between the Bills and the Ravens, whoever loses that game against Mahomes, who they say no one could beat Mahomes, is going to get the MVP as a consolation prize, actually. So that was probably a little bit dumb of me to say that at that point, and I probably should have smartened up and really put it together, put two and two together, and be like, oh no, whoever wins and then loses against Mahomes is going to get the MVP as a consolation prize. And that what ended up happening and shit. But Lamar, I think this season was obviously statistically, and you see him play the game and everything like that, the impact he's had on a majority of the games this season for the Ravens, is the better player. And there's always a lot of back and forth out there. You hear the chatter from all these other shows and these motherfuckers talking all this dumb shit. Oh, Lamar is not better than, he's not even elite. He's not up there with the Josh Allen's, Joe Burrows, and the Mahomes in the AFC. But he's Lamar. He's just Lamar. He's great. What the fuck sense does that make? What sense does that fucking make? They're all elite. It's 4 of them, and then it's all the other guys in the league. Everybody fucking knows that shit. Everybody knows that. And we've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes versus the Bills. We've seen it with our own eyes even versus the damn Kansas City Chiefs in the first game of the season with them. You could put Lamar Jackson up against all the motherfuckers. You've seen him play against the Bengals with Joe Burrow also. They going back and forth on who comes out on top. So I'm tired of hearing all this shit where it's like, oh, it goes Mahomes is 1, and then Josh Allen or Joe Burrow is 1A, and then Josh Allen or Joe Burrow is 1B, and then it's Lamar's just in his own world, and it's everyone else but Lamar's below them because of his playoff performance. Yes, get all that. Playoff performance, yeah, you gotta show up all that shit. But I feel like what we've been seeing over time is progress in the last couple years, especially this year. But I'm not putting Lamar below them motherfuckers. He right there with them. He is right there with them. But, it's still valid-ish that it went to Josh Allen this year. Well deserved. I think that Lamar probably has a chance to win another MVP. I think this one should have. I think that if they would have gave it to him this year, it still would have been really valid, and you have no arguments about it at all, even with the playoff performance and everything like that. Because even with his couple of his miscues in that Bills game, he still brought his team back in the game and ultimately brought him back to win the game or have an opportunity to win the fucking game. You know what I mean? And I think that Josh Allen, his play style and his mindset and his attitude, I think that he doesn't really care about the MVP award. He just wants to win. He wants to beat Mahomes. He wants to win a Super Bowl for that city, for his teammates, for his coaches and everything. And I think he kind of has a mindset similar to like his play style, and his mindset is similar to like Ben Roethlisberger. There was at one point, I think Ben Roethlisberger was saying, because he's in his heyday, he's playing in the game, he's competing also, right? So he's competing against the Peyton Mannings of the world and the Tom Brady's of the world, right, in his division and all that shit. And they're the elites. And, Ben is elite within his own right also. They're winning their MVPs and all that bullshit, right? And I think one time Ben has said, yo, I'm never going to win. I'm never going to be that player to win league MVPs. I'm going to have great years, this and that, but I just want to make sure I win for my teammates, and I'm putting us in position to win championships. I think he said something like that. I know he definitely said, they're never going to vote for me. I'm never going to be in a position where they're going to vote for me to win MVPs. And when you look at the way Josh Allen plays, which is similar to a Ben Roethlisberger, big arm, breaks sacks, breaks tackles, runs around a little bit, takes big hits and still runs people over, takes hits that he shouldn't because he wants to get the first down or the touchdown for his team. When you look at that, it kind of reminds you of Ben Roethlisberger and everything like that. And I can see Josh Allen winning the Super Bowl also. I see both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson having a chance to win the Super Bowl. I could see that shit for both of them. The only thing is, the big question is just when, because they're all in the same division with Mahomes and with Joe Burrow and whoever else is probably going to come up in the AFC, you know what I mean, in the near future or in the future. But they just got to get it soon, because the Chiefs will run it back for another dynasty run before it's said and done, before it's said and done for Mahomes, So now to the Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell. I think that's valid. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even think the Vikings were gonna make the playoffs. I did see Sam Darnold having a decent year to be like, all right, cool, you're gonna have a decent year. Then they're gonna start, the rookie McCarthy. You'll have a decent year, so you get your name up a little bit for a free agency this year, and then get on a team like the Colts or the Saints or some shit like that, whatever, right? But JJ McCarthy ended up being out for the whole year. Niggas didn't see that shit coming. And then you got Darnold, and he has this crazy phenomenal year, right? And then on top of that, you see who they had on defense, because we weren't really worried about their offense too much outside of maybe running back and their offensive line, because Aaron Jones gets a little hurt sometimes, but he had a really good season, really solid season this year. Also, Cam Akers at running back had a solid season this year. And then Hawkinson was hurt, but outside of that, you weren't worried about Addison and Justin Jefferson. The defense, mainly what I was worried about, and they had some good signings there, was the veterans. They were, they're all in the back nine. Harrison Smith, you got Gilly there they signed. I think Shaquille Griffin came back out of retirement. He went there. We didn't know what he was going to do. Linebackers, you had HITZ there, who he's been in the league for a long time. Pace, undrafted free agent. He had a really good season and came on as a rookie, and he could probably have a step back or have a big season. So you didn't really think that they would have a chance, especially with the Lions and the Packers being favored and everything, right? But all three of them ended up making, and that's a really competitive division, really good division, right? So you kind of didn't really see them as being like a top, contender in the playoffs or like a factor that you really had to worry about. But then when you find out, Brian Flores is running the defense, now they're doing all these crazy schemes and everything on defense, and then you got Sam Darnold throwing for over 30 touchdowns, right? Going crazy. The bust quarterback they wrote up because he got drafted to the fucking Jets and then got traded to the Panthers at that. And he's having a great year. That's valid. You got to give him Coach of the Year for that, man. Got the offense and a quarterback. A quarterback, of course, everybody wrote off. Was probably just a backup quarterback or just a really, sneaky, nice quarterback to have that could come in certain spots, maybe do a little something. But a whole season producing with that offense at that level, hitting on all cylinders, and the defense going crazy also with the crazy-ass schemes and helping to win them games also and get a bunch of turnovers. Yeah, that's valid. Coach of the Year for Kevin O'Connell, that's valid. I fuck with it. Which then brings me now to comeback player of the year, Joe Burrow over Darnold. And don't get me wrong, the wrist injury that he had, how they was talking about it, sounded crazy. It sounded like, damn, it was the beginning of the end of his career or some shit like that. Like career-ending type of degenerative injury or some shit to his wrist on his throwing hand. It did sound crazy and very worrisome. So, yeah, shout out to him for being considered. But we know Joe Burrow getting, considered for that. His level of talent and play is above this type of award. Like, this motherfucker is supposed to be competing for Offensive Player of the Year awards and MVP awards. And then when you have all the other guys that people write off as busts or they come back from a crazy injury, and I'm not saying this injury wasn't crazy, but they come back from crazier injuries and all that shit, all type of shit, fucking dying on the field and all type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And Joe Burrow over Sam Darnold? I don't know. I don't know. That one I just felt like, especially with some of the reasons that I pointed out previously with the Coach of the Year and O'Connell, that Darnold probably should have took that one, man. Come on now. I mean, still good to see Burrow, his name in there, win an award, and he had a crazy season. He had an MVP-like season, but his team was losing too early. But they came back and went somewhere around 500, almost squeaked into the playoffs. And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and them niggas was on fire with T. Higgins and Chase Brown and Gesicki. They were on fire at some point. And Joe Burrow was playing better than any quarterback in the league at one point in the season. But comeback player of the year, come on, man. Offensive player of the year, Saquon Barkley. I think he could have been the motherfucking MVP with the shit he was doing. We already know about his season, historical season. Could have beat the record, did his humble step back. Like, you know what? I ain't getting in 14 games. Like, you know what I'm saying? The OG Dickinson who did it, so fuck it. It's not even gonna feel valid. Okay, fine. I still would have been like it anyway. Just to be like, fuck it, my name there. And then after when I'm in the Hall of Fame, when I'm all old and shit, then I can be like, but I wasn't better than Dickinson because I ain't do it. Then I'll talk about it then. But to be like, but that's just a testament to how great of a person, athlete he is, even being a great competitor and all of that. Having, you know what I'm saying, having some respect for the legends that did it before him and paved the way before him. That's what's up. That's dope because you don't see shit like that a lot with a mindset in any of the sports from any of the younger athletes. But I think he could have been the MVP. I think he should have been up there, but of course we know that award only goes to fucking quarterbacks and shit. So, but well-deserved with him being Offensive Player of the Year. I think another person you probably could have put in there was Jamar Chase, which that motherfucker went crazy all year, triple crown again. That nigga is the #1 receiver in the league. It goes between him and Jettas, 1A and 1B, and interchanges between both of them. Those are the #1 receivers right there in the league. So you could definitely say that. Well-deserved for Saquon. PS2, Patrick Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm shocked. I'm shocked as fuck about this shit. But this shit is dope as hell. Like, finally a DB winning this shit, a corner at that. I can't remember the last time I seen a Defensive Player of the Year at cornerback. I have to check back and look. I mean, shit. I'm probably all wrong here, but I want to say the last one was a Broncos cornerback also that I remember was Champ Bailey, right? But I could be wrong. Gotta check back. Shit, if anybody knows, let me know that shit. But that's dope to see that a defensive back, a cornerback at that, was able to win that award. And Patrick Surtain, best corner in the league, man. Best corner in the league, and then the next young corner right behind him, it looked like he's making some being one of the best corners in the league also, or the best next season is Derek Stingley Jr. You know, and I know soft gardeners, can't catch the ball, don't want to tackle, want to tweet all day, you know, be on the game and shit all day. And Sauce, you got that potential. You could do all of that shit, but what's your mindset like, bro? And I get it. You play for the Jets. It's a circus. It's a circus over there. It's fucking everybody on some goofy shit. But you keep doing your thing, so you can at least be considered for this award, like niggas like PS2. So that shit is dope to see. Offensive Rookie of the Year, obviously Jaden Daniels. Caleb, you ain't like that. You not that boy. I'm sorry. I still don't believe it, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, yo. I honestly could say I'd be happy to see it. I'd be happy to see it. You know what I'm saying? But prove me wrong. I don't know. It ain't looking good to me, though. I'm one of them people, yes. I'm one of them people, like, for the most part, before there was Baker Mayfields and Kyler Murray's and everything like that, I'm one of them people like, yo, QBs from Oklahoma in the NFL never make it. They always dead pop. Like, they ain't shit. Same thing with QBs from USC. You used to be mad high, like, yo, they gonna be nice. They gonna be nice. Matt Leinart, Mark Sanchez, Carson Palmer. And Carson Palmer had some nice seasons. He was nice. He got better when he was with the Raiders and the Cardinals. But he was nice with the Bengals too, but you know how it goes with the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I feel bad a little bit for Joe Shiesty, but whatever. It's a whole other story. But outside of Carson Palmer, all them other USC quarterbacks, just gassing them, hyping them, they gonna be this, that. They had some nice little moments, plays, couple nice little seasons. It wasn't shit. You know, so Caleb, you ain't like that. Jaden Daniels, that boy, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sorry, I ain't mean to, you know, that's kind of fucked up. Shitting on another player, but he's supposed to be giving the number one player they shine. But Jaden Daniels, man, believed in this kid since day one. Like I said, I was watching him play since he was a true freshman at Arizona State. Liked his game, liked his potential, and it's good to see his career path from freshman year at Arizona State to, you know, his years at Arizona State early, transferring to LSU, having good games there and working on his game and leveling up there, and then making it to the Washington Commodores, which has been notoriously a bad franchise also, and kind of been snake bitten at quarterback. And then now look at him, man. He upset the fucking Lions, upset the Bucks, and he was in the NFC Championship game against the Super Bowl champ Eagles. Not that he made it all the way crazy interesting for the whole game against them, but you know, obviously he's the Rookie of the Year. Bo Nix also had a good year. Seemed a little bit shaky there, and then at some point people were like, nah, he's the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He balling out of control, Sean Payton, this, that, da. Nah, man, it was Jaden Daniels the whole time to me. So I love to see this shit. Motherfucker could pass, motherfucker could run, motherfucker mad chill, calm, got the poise, don't let nothing faze him. And he got that sneaky, humble, confident swag. Like, I know we're gonna shit on you. Oh, have fun going back to Cabo. Or like mad laid back chill, but it's like, yo, the quiet, humble confidence. Like, yo, I know I'm gonna shit on y'all niggas. I like that about him too. I like that about his game and everything too. So well deserved with him being Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse, which I thought was a good pick also. I think there was a few. I had to check back some of the names, but I think there was a few guys in the rookie class on the defensive side that was going crazy. But anytime I caught a Rams game or caught a highlight, and I feel like I caught at least like 4 Rams games this year on TV. Anytime I saw a Rams game, this dude Jared Verse was all over the fucking field, putting pressure on the quarterback, getting tackles for loss, knocking running backs out, playing coverage a little bit, getting his hand on the ball, doing all type of shit. Just fucking the whole game plan up. Just being I'ma fuck your game plan up, dude. Every fucking Sunday. As a rookie, motherfucker was looking like a vet out there. I ain't gonna lie, because I didn't know what number he was gonna wear. I know he wore number 5 at FSU, and I kept seeing number 8. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this nigga? At first, because I thought he was wearing number 0, or he was gonna be wearing number 5 or some shit like that. But number 0 was actually Byron Young, the other edge rusher they got from the previous draft out of Tennessee, who I liked him coming out of Tennessee, and he's a dog too. But I'm like, yo, this motherfucker look like he been in the league for at least 5 years, and he keep fucking shit up. And it was Jared Verse, number 8. And he had a hell of a fucking season, so it was good to see him win that award. Next, I'm going to get into a little bit of the all-season stuff I was bringing up in the beginning of this volume. A little bit of the all-season preview. Got a lot of trade requests and speculation going on here. Now Debo wants to trade out of San Francisco. Some teams that is speculative or whatever. The Broncos, he was talking about the Broncos offense. Motherfuckers gonna speculate that, especially these motherfuckers all talk on podcasts and on Twitter and like shit and put eyes on shit and all kinds of shit now. So now motherfuckers just hop on that like, oh, he probably won't go to the Broncos. Wouldn't be a bad fit for him. They need some receivers. But Debo, I wouldn't put him as a route running receiver specialist, but he's just a really great offensive weapon. But who knows? You get with Sean Payton and them, get with their receiver coaches, and they probably put him onto a route tree that works best for him or help him improve his game in the route tree that's more detailed to get open and get some separation. And he still brings his game where he run motherfuckers over, run after the catch, and take off on motherfuckers and get him for a TD punch. So that might be a good look. A lot of people kept bringing up the Commanders. I think even before this week, they were bringing that up in like the second round or the conference championship round of the playoffs. Once those are finished, that Debo going to the Commanders, they could see that. I think that would be kind of nice, but I feel like what the Commanders need is a little bit more at receiver. They're going to need more than just one guy there. And if it is one guy, that dynamic, it will be cool, but I think they probably need more of a big body target, more of and not that Debo's not a big body, but I'm talking about as far as in the route running game, getting open and everything like that. I think they need I think it will probably be best. It will best suit them to go for a big body target guy, or someone else that could really take the top off of the defense like that. But who knows? I think that probably the best fit, one of the best fits, and we'll probably get to some more as the offseason starts really getting into motion. But I think one of the best fits because of his style, his brand of football that he plays, and the brand of football and the style they like to play is the Ravens. They can use another offensive weapon that can line up at running back like that and can also receive. Now, they got Justice Hill also, but he's more of a speed and receiving threat, which is good too. You need to add an element also, and Justice Hill could run the ball too, but you add Debo, who could start at slot receiver and kind of line up and run the ball and just keep running and running, because that's what the Ravens ultimately want to do, right? Just keep running and running and running, and then if you give him a chance to line up in the slot and just say, hey, Lamar, throw it to him on a 5-yard slant or 8-yard in, and then just let him fuck the defense up and run them over and run after the catch for a touchdown instead of Lamar do all the fucking work. Not saying that it's like that for him every single time, but Lamar do all the work or to try and find Zay Flowers or Bateman all the way downfield and everything like that, or just try and find Andrews just for a first down and he'll plop down out of bounds, just plop down in the middle of the field. Outside of that, outside of that, you just got Likely, who's great. They need to give him some more burn. But imagine having that added element with your brand and your style of football and Debo. I think that matches a bit. Myles Garret, I did say a couple places for him. I also brought up the Broncos for him going there. I did crazily bring up the Chiefs. If the Chiefs were to get crazy and do that shit, I brought up Detroit. I think a lot of other people brought up Detroit. Would probably be a sensible fit. But in my, talking about what the other teams may need to do in the AFC to knock out the Chiefs, shit, Buffalo probably would be a good fit, could match up for him there to help dethrone the Chiefs. The blueprint is out now. You gotta put a physical, strong, and fast pass rush on that O-line and on Mahomes, and they gonna lay down. That's it. That's how you beat them. So shit. Von Miller, it might be clip for him. He might be out. He might be like, yo, if I'm out, or go to another team and be like, yo, I ain't gonna play all the way to the postseason for y'all if y'all give me, good little $10 million on a 1-year deal, some shit like that. Y'all cool with that? I bet. He might hop to another team and do that shit. So now you gotta refill that role, but Myles Garrett is younger and he's gonna play all 3 downs. So you might as well be like, fuck it. Go for Myles Garrett, put him in Buffalo, get y'all to the chip, and get y'all chip and get the fuck up out of here before, before it be a next dynasty to start doing all this crazy shit. Some other secret trade scenarios, some low-key, sneaky trade scenarios. Shit. Micah Parsons, the way he been talking, motherfuckers thinking about him getting traded out of there. And I'm like, to who? Who the fuck they got, you know what I mean? To who? The Chiefs? Or the Rams or some shit like that? So I don't fucking know. I don't know about that one. But the way that he's talking or been talking, and the way that the Cowboys are set up right now in their little situation and shit, they might gotta get him out of there. So, well, fuck, because they might need a haul to get some more draft picks and some more players to just start being competitive now, like they think they are in their delusional ass fucking world. Another person who I could see with their quarterback situation and everything like that, that quarterback situation, and he's already been through that with them for some years, and he's never been to the playoffs, but he's really good. Like, why do you want to waste your time like that as a young talent kind of coming up at the receiver position? Maybe Garrett Wilson on the move. You know what I mean? Maybe trading to Washington also. The Texans, maybe they need a receiver. They're going to need a receiver now. DAWGZ is out. Or it might be out coming off this injury. And then Tank Dell's down for a while. Maybe Garrett Wilson. Maybe Garrett Wilson to the Rams also, since they're saying Cooper Kupp ain't going to be there no more. Who fucking knows? Who knows? And then, another fact that the Eagles sign or trade more motherfuckers to up it and run it back. I could see that. I see the Eagles making some kind of crazy trade, or definitely some kind of crazy something. They're definitely going to draft well because they're trying to up the score some more. I already heard they say on the sideline after they won, I think it was either HITZ or Devontae Smith, one of them trying to say, yo, we got some catching up to do. This one feel good, but we got some catching up to do. Let's run it back. I said, oh, shit, these niggas is fucking focused. They focused, man. And then all the other all-season shit, Aaron Rodgers is out of there in New York. Where he going to go, Raiders or the Steelers? I think it's the Raiders, and I still think the Raiders could draft Shador if they trade up or if he drops to them. But I think the Raiders probably match, but maybe they don't want him. Steelers, we'll see. I think most likely Rodgers waits until, right when the last preseason game is played to sign somewhere, and we'll find out once after all these people probably get, in the whole next season if guys get hurt or this, that, and the third. So that's way down the line. With the Chiefs trade for Debo? Nah, that'd be too fucking crazy. If anything, they're going to try and trade for pass rushers also. Who do they trade for? Because they want to get more. They should probably, like I said, probably get a little bit more physical up front on that D-line. Who should they trade for and try and poach from somewhere? Justin Simmons? Should the Chiefs try and trade for Justin Simmons also to, get him out of there from Tennessee, from all that losing and shit? Try and poach him for a third or something like that, and have a running mate with Chris Jones? Or if they fuck around and really get crazy and give a bottom feeder poverty franchise some, a couple of bones to be like, hey, go ahead and fuck up these draft picks. We don't care. Y'all gonna fuck them up anyway. Quentin Williams, you do that would be too crazy. Nah, that's wild. Or would they do some dumb shit like trade for Kyle Pitts to just get another tight end if you're not able to get the tight end that you want in the middle rounds because you don't have a chance to get Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren? I don't know. And then he learned from Kelsey how to really play the game because he's still athletic, not that good, but still got tools to succeed or contribute to an offense, right? Kirk Cousins on the move. Where he gonna go? He gonna get traded to the Browns? I think the Browns are dumb enough to do some type of move like that. And in a weird way, it kind of is a fit for the both of them to have some kind of stability for right now until you bring another kid in there into a fucked up situation where Myles Garrett's most likely going to be gone. And, your whole shit is still in disarray organizationally. You're going to bring another young kid into that for him to fail. And then he's going to want out or some shit like that. Bring a little stability until you have, you're a little bit better. I mean, they still have a really strong defense and some offensive players that could contribute and do some things, but for how long are they gonna want to stay there for that shit, right? But yeah, it's a weak draft a bit in the quarterback position and some other positions, but for some teams out there, especially teams that haven't been in the playoffs for a while or didn't make the playoffs this year, it's still an important one for all those teams. It's still an important draft for even the teams that have been in the playoffs because this is with weak drafts. This is where you want to draft your replenishments, your reserve players, some dudes that maybe no one's heard of or is not thinking about to be your reserves, and they could develop possibly into a star or develop into a great role player that produces results for your team to get you there, get you over the hump. This is that type of draft. So we're going to see, and real quick before I wrap this up, we see the Kellen Moore going to the Saints. This is kind of, to me, a little bit like reminiscent a bit of like the Sean Payton hire. He was a good OC for the Cowboys, good OC for the Eagles. Chargers kind of didn't work out there. I don't give a fuck about no coaching higher grades with all the other teams that hired their guys right now, like Aaron Glenn, Schottenheimers, and the nigga that went Liam Cohen to Jacksonville. I don't believe in them grades. Don't come to me until a game got to be played. Regular season game at that. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit these motherfuckers talking about. But I'll say this. This hire, and this is why I'm going on track saying it's a little bit reminiscent of like the Sean Payton hire when he went to the Saints. I give it about, in 3 years, this Kellen Moore to the Saints shit could fuck around and be a sneaky good hire. But give it 3 years when they reconstruct the roster how they need to, how they want to on offense. Their defense is already good. They got some young guys and old guys there, so you may be able to offload some of the older guys for something, for some draft capital or something like that, and then try and work your way out of this cap bullshit and everything like that, and just draft really well if you can, if you have the picks, and develop really well and coach really well, because that division's not all the way strong. The top dog right now is still the Bucs, and even they had a hard time just not fucking it up. Same thing with the Falcons this year. They were competitive, and they fucked it up. They had a hard time not fucking it up. And Michael Penix is going to come back and be nice as the young quarterback. But give it 3 years, this might be a sneaky good fucking hire. So we'll see. But for right now, it's going to wrap it up for me here with this quick hit clip. No, it went a little bit over here, a little bit longer than my usual quick clips. But it's just fun talking about ball, especially going into what might happen in the NFL all season. That's going to wrap it up here for me. Y'all out there, be easy.